and welcome to Gen Friends. We are coming to you from the Expo Hall at we're on RootsTech, and we are really tired. We have just been walking up and down and having a good time meeting friends. We're going to have some special guests that come and join us. I have got Jenny Hawran from Like Herding Cats with me, and I've got Laura Hedgecock from Treasures Tested Memory with me. And yeah, we've been having a really great time. There's a lot of wonderful people in Expo Hall. There's been some fabulous keynotes so far that we've been able to go and listen to. If you've never been to RootsTech, yes, you can watch it online. Yes, you can't watch everything online. I suggest you put it on your bucket list and you come and join us and be part of this wonderful baby family reunion is kind of what it is, right?
Yeah, I told people in my class today, like with any product you want to try, being here is the gift because you can go to the vendor and say, I want to accomplish X, Y, Z. Will your product help me? How that's going to look?
Yeah.
And it's just a big bonus. But I was also really surprised by Rachel Platten because I was really expecting song.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she had this beautiful message about loving yourself and being, and just recognizing your full humanity and the good parts and the bad parts of what you're proud. And I just love that message. It really resonated with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And, and of course, it's all about seeing people that you haven't seen maybe in a year or meeting people for the first time. I have an Irish genealogy friend who I saw her last year, and she's actually helped me with my genealogy, my Irish genealogy. It was so great to see her and spend time with her. And it was a long trip for her over here. So
exactly. And I've had people come up saying, I'm your 8th cousin, I'm your 5th, 6th cousin, because we're using that Relatives Around Me app while we're here so that we can find people. Surprise, come sit down.
Are we on?
It's not live, it's recorded.
Oh, that's all right.
So, if you wanted us to edit something, but
If I say anything dumb.
no.
How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good.
My cousin, you didn't show up on my cousin list this time, Kirby.
Why?
I don't know.
Did you change your tree or something?
First, tell your audience who Kirby is.
Everybody knows.
We're pretending like there's nobody else out there.
That's right.
We're just talking.
Just us.
Cheri and I are just enjoying each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is Kirby Heyborne, and
Hi.
he is the MC,
Yes.
the incredible MC for RootsTech, and we enjoy the fact that you're there, and everybody loves you.
Oh, that's so nice.
But it's true.
I'm so lucky that I get to do it. It's such a beautiful thing. The energy at RootsTech, there's nothing like it.
No.
You just think, you say genealogy and you just think old people just looking through records and stuff. And that's not it.
Yeah.
RootsTech brings a youthfulness and an energy. I mean, it's all about the technology, and that's how all of these new discoveries are made. It's so much fun. Yeah.
I had a 14-year-old come to my presentation yesterday. And
No way.
she was 14 years old. And so she sat on the front. I said, how old are you? 14? I said, everybody 14. Everybody goes, yeah.
I love it. What were you teaching on?
On how to create a research plan and then work through your research plan. So
And she was there.
she was there asking
I love that.
questions. It was wonderful. So
Oh, that's great.
I love seeing the youth because, we got to get them addicted.
Right.
We got to get them coming. So,
And that's what that's what's great with companies or organizations like FamilySearch. They're sometimes gamifying the experience where the kids can get on. There's a new app that they have called Together.
Yeah.
That I was talking to someone about it, and I asked them their opinion, like, what do you think about Together? Oh, it's colorful, just like my family.
I've heard.
Yeah. But it is great. Like, it has all of those colors, and like that app is easy to use. And sometimes we think that family history is, and it's about the past, and you're discovering what's happened to your family, and and why you are the way you are, and how different paths had to converge to be able to get to where you are.
Right.
But it's also, you need to record your own story. And I think that is what a lot of people are doing, what a lot of companies are focusing on, is making it easy for, because I would have loved to have some of these companies around back in when my grandparents were still alive.
Yes.
Because you can write down their stories, but the technology now is that you can have a book and then scan it and then see a video of your grandma or grandpa answering that question.
Yeah. I so appreciate it because my grandmother did write down her stories.
Yes.
So I know what it's like to inherit it.
Yes. It's beautiful, but to hear her voice, wouldn't that be amazing?
It would be amazing.
So that's why it's so important that we do it now.
Exactly.
Because
But speaking of hearing voices, how incredible is it? Not that you're hearing voices.
we're all hearing voices. Yeah.
How incredible is it that you get to meet all these keynotes with their stories and you get to make this
I'm so
person
lucky.
to person.
Yes, and it's these connections. I don't think a lot of people, a lot of these keynote speakers, they know much about family history or are interested, but when they leave, they feel that spirit of joy and excitement that comes from discovering who you are. And that's been the best part. Every year, this is my 3rd year now, every time I've been on stage with one of these big celebrities, once you get them talking about the legacy they want to leave, the legacy that was left to them, they feel this energy, this power, this spirit that gets them
and they're making connections that they didn't understand before.
Yes.
And it's scary. We've had so many people, the audience, crying over people's stories.
Yes, because they're beautiful.
Yeah, they really are. So you
like
did a
Dana
great job.
Tanamachi just today was so beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
That was just a beautiful story overall.
It was. And I honestly, I knew where it was headed, but the majority of it, I was just so interested in her beautiful art.
Yes.
And then
It's mesmerizing.
yeah, it was. And then it went into her family story. And that's powerful that they found art in those camps, you know?
Yeah. People are resilient.
Yeah.
They're really resilient.
Amazing.
People are creative.
Yeah, they really are.
They are.
The power to create. I mean, that was really struck by me. Like, even in the direst circumstances, wanted to create.
Exactly. You've got people over the media hub that you need to get to. They're staring,
so much.
they're staring at us like,
Okay, thank you guys.
Over.
Yeah.
like, go get Kirby.
Thanks you guys.
All right.
Keep it up.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
See you.
Okay,
See you
bye.
later. Bye.
So my name is Thom Reed. My title officially is program manager, but that really doesn't mean anything to anyone. So I like to tell people I have really 3 different roles at FamilySearch right now. My role that most people know me for is the African American Experience Manager. So I've been doing stuff, since 2015 really for FamilySearch, specifically targeted to help with African American research. I just started 2 new roles. And one is a regional manager for North America Southeast area. That means I'm responsible for the entire experience from record acquisition all the way to delivery of content to our patrons, all from North America Southeast area. So I'll work with archives and other stuff. So so South Carolina. I go up to North Carolina. That's as north as I go.
Oh, okay, that's his part.
So Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina.
Nice.
Those are my states. And then I also kind of assumed the role of a relationship manager for FamilySearch. One of our big accounts or that we work a lot with is American Ancestors. So from the New England Historic and Genealogical Society. And there's several other smaller companies that we're looking to kind of collaborate with on various things that now I own those relationships and what FamilySearch does with it. So that's my job. Now, what I do, I don't even know. It's a lot of titles.
It's a lot of
But it's a lot of work. And I don't feel like it's work. It's just the craziest thing about my journey at FamilySearch. It's never felt like work. I mean, there's some things, when I have to report to management and stuff like that, like all that kind of stuff.
So you just say, hi, management, I'm having fun.
I'm having fun. I'm doing my thing. I've got to deliver some results and reports and stuff like that. But I love people. And all this is, genealogy is all about connecting people.
Exactly.
And I'm just doing it from various different vantage points, working with, commercial companies, working with archives and librarians, working with individuals in the African American community. All of it's connecting. So
Yeah. So I was talking to Lynn Turner about the focus that the library has on user experience that's really above and beyond what most of us know from libraries that we
Yes.
patronize.
yes.
So what do you think some of the most important aspects of user experience in your realm? The African American
Yeah.
experience, et cetera. What do you think is the most important?
FamilySearch does a lot of data-driven work, but when it's come to really in North America for minority communities, we've not. We've done anecdotal stuff. We come to conferences, we hear from people, we talk to others in the industry, and then we make changes. But we wanted to really be data-driven about how we approach things for African Americans. So we hired a company, we did a study that lasted nearly a year to really understand attitudes, behaviors, stumbling blocks, motivations for African Americans in doing family history. And I think the key things that I felt like we learned from it were that giving someone an immediate experience to connect with an ancestor is paramount. They cannot jump, and it has to be as easy as possible for a user.
Quick win.
Quick wins.
Exactly.
It's the quick win that brings them in.
Yep.
And then we, as genealogists, we know it takes work.
Yeah.
Right? But if people who are just starting can get a quick win. And so one of the challenges we've had on our website, FamilySearch.org, especially for North America, for minorities, is because names aren't, John Smith could be a variety of, have ethnic origins all over the world, right? Well, we've taken, for example, census records that did enumerate the race of an individual. We made a filtered search and a web page that's specifically African American that you can go in, and if you put in John Smith, it's looking for the Black, Negro, colored John Smith. It eliminates all the noise that people have to sift through. So hopefully they get that quick win.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things we shared with the people that we were studying and asking about, and they were like, "Oh, this is great!"
Now, is that something people can use today, or is it still
Absolutely,
in beta?
it is not beta. It is out there. It is usable. We're still working on how to get it into the normal FamilySearch website architecture and structure, and so it's somewhat difficult to get to. If you go to FamilySearch now and you're in the United States, you scroll down the page, you'll see African American records.
Yes.
That will take you to that specific experience.
Great.
And we've been, marketing it using, various campaigns, social media, things like that to send the direct URL to people.
Okay.
But that quick win is really for the user experience. That's what it takes.
Sure.
Right. And letting them know that it's doable. So we've created some, handouts and pamphlets and booklets and things like that to just walk people through the process. We all know it starts with what you know.
Sure.
And then who you know in your family and get what they know.
Yes.
And look for those artifacts around home. You don't have to start with a family tree and start looking for your enslaved ancestor the first time you think about family history.
Right.
Exactly.
There's some steps you need to do ahead of that, and we've created a little guide that allows people to do that. So those are kind of the couple of things that we've tried to do to really appeal and serve the needs of African Americans.
Yeah, and do you find like when people do make that jump back to their enslaved ancestors, that there's some kind of also a traumatic experience that they have because suddenly the load of the empathy for their ancestors, and do y'all have tools to help people with that?
I wish we had like counselors on call,
There you go.
right? To be honest, because it's traumatic experience. You feel the weight when you realize the direct connection to that person who endured that, who was sold, as chattel. Like
Exactly. You see them on those lists.
you see their names on those lists, and you realize that's my people. It is an emotional experience, right?
Yeah.
And obviously we're a family history company, so we don't provide therapeutic resources. But I was.
Elder.
That's true. That would be good if we did. But I know one of the things is we do want to connect people with other people. This is a collaborative work. And so some of that is helpful, just knowing that there's someone else that's doing that research with you. Virtual consultations is one of those things where people can, someone can help walk you through what that means when you encounter that and you're with someone else. That can be helpful.
They're not
right. So, and especially it gets difficult for African Americans doing that research.
Sure.
And so if you leverage our virtual consultations that are free of charge, 20 minutes with somebody, they can help you identify that enslaved ancestor potentially, or tips to get to that person, and then can help you process what that means.
Well, I know you're also involved in the 10 Million Names Project.
Yes.
So how is that going?
It's going. So for many, those of you listeners who may not, know what 10 Million is about. So 10 Million Names is a project that was coming out of American ancestors. Again, that relationship I manage, and they have done some phenomenal work. For example, with the Mayflower Descendants Society and creating silver books, which are descendants genealogy for those, original Mayflower ancestors. They realize that there is a void for African Americans. And so they've endeavored and have the funding to create this project where we're looking to document the names of the 10 million men, women, and children who were enslaved in what became the United States between 1619 and 1865. Right? And because it's 10 million, it's going to take...
It's going to take a while.
I might not be around when we, get that 10 million person in that database, but we'll create a free database, and we'll also create the family trees that come to living descendants to connect, African Americans with their enslaved ancestor, and hopefully make that path to get to them much easier for them to discover. And so I serve on the Genealogist Council for that. Myself, Kenyatta Berry, and Shelley Murphy, so friends of the house. We know them, right? So the three of us serve on the Genealogist Council. We work directly with their chief historian, Kendra Field, who's with Tufts University, and several others on the Scholars Council, on just helping guide what they're doing. Record acquisition, where are they going to look for records? How are they structuring their database? How are they, starting to build these trees and the research required behind it? All those kinds of things. That's kind of our role with it. I mean, with FamilySearch, I manage that relationship because there's an exchange of data. So we've given them lots of records that name enslaved individuals that can add to the database, right? So in my estimation, it's about 3.4 million, right? Now we need to do work to really dedupe and make sure that the names are unique in what we've given them, because, it could be from multiple records, from census records and Freedmen Bureau records and things like that. Could be the same individual, right? But we've given them 3.4 million
You guys
names.
leverage AI to help you look at all those wills and et cetera to kind of do that cluster research?
Oh, yes. I was messing around with AI just today. I was in a class and just pulled up got a will and okay, let's see it's amazing what AI does.
What about those of us who have enslavers in our tree and our documents show the names of the enslaved? How can we help?
But we have a feature on FamilySearch called Other Relationships.
Right.
So, we typically in a family structure, mother, father, children, but there were these relationships that existed that were non-familiar. So how do we document those in a tree structure? Right. Especially in enslaved relationships. We don't want to make assumptions about parentage and about relationships. We want to document what the condition is. So in this case, Other Relationships allows you to add an enslaved person to the slaveholding family to just document a note. And that allows, for African American research, it's about following that, enslaver, the slaveholder, to see if they have information about your enslaved ancestor. And by attaching that enslaved person to the slaveholding family and family tree, that just makes it that much more accessible for those of us who are doing, slave ancestral research.
So then should we also duplicate that effort at 10 million names?
That's a good question. I not really duplicate that effort. I mean, I think, again, we want 10 million names to get everything. We want them to take a fresh look at everything. And so we're just asking people, whatever you have, please furnish it to 10 million names. Let them do the work. I mean,
well, that's what I mean. In addition to putting out
FamilySearch. If you're keeping your own family tree, of course, put it on FamilySearch that way, right? Because FamilySearch patrons may come across it. But also submit it to 10 million names so that they have it. They can create that work as well. The good thing about our partnership is they have a product called Ancestries,
Yes.
which is their tree
Yeah.
program that they use.
Mhm.
That's going to connect through controlled edit trees for FamilySearch and come back to FamilySearch. And so our patrons will be able to leverage we're doing that with lots of different partners, is establishing controlled edit trees on FamilySearch from their data, and that'll be the same for 10 million names. So the trees that are created for 10 million names will come back to FamilySearch to be searchable.
Great. Fabulous. Because you know that we've talked for years, there's got to be a place to put the things that we're finding. And so this is the answer. Finally.
And I want to give some, love to our friends Ancestry.
Yeah.
They just created the same thing. They announced it yesterday. Krista Cowan announced it, but I don't know anything about it. Right? So I've got to go to their booth and check it out and explore and see what they've done. And it's great that those of us in the industry, multiple people, are now addressing this issue and making a way that people are documented, even if they don't have familial relationships.
What if you don't have a name? We did a case study for one of my ancestors, and he was in Virginia colonial court. I'm trying to remember the year, but he brought in what they called an Indian boy to have his age judged because he wanted to take him to be an enslaved.
Oh, interesting.
And so there's no name in the court records. It's just his age as being 5.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never know how that's ever going to be traced.
Yeah, that's tough because we do have some guidelines about using FamilySearch to have a name of an individual. I mean, you can put baby child or whatever in some cases until you're able to uncover that. But I wish I had the answer for you. I'm sorry.
There's always going to be these kind of strange situations.
Right.
There's
Right.
always going to be those kind of cases that don't really fit in, but you can put it in the notes.
And I need to come to RootsTech to learn how to deal with those things.
Exactly.
I love this new role that I'm in, just as I kind of sign off here, is working with lots of record custodians and archivists around the country. And that is not my strength and background at all. But, because of RootsTech, because I have someone coming from Austria, he's going to visit an archivist in New Orleans on my behalf to figure out what we can do with Catholic Church records.
We have our own beloved Melissa Barker. She's a GenFriend, and she's an archivist in Houston County, Tennessee.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she couldn't be here today, but I know she would love to.
She would love
anyway.
to.
Okay. That's good to know.
She's known as the archive lady.
Yep.
Okay, the archive lady. She's in one of my states, so I need to connect with her.
We'll get you in contact with her. So
Okay.
whatever they have. Okay.
That's helpful. We need more friends out in the field. That's for sure. I can't do it all from Salt Lake. So thank you. Thank you for having me with you guys. This is fun. All right. Okay. Thank you. See you guys.
And we brought a special friend that we love so much. Annie, I don't know how to pronounce your new last name. It's Annie Lincoln.
Yes.
Annie Lincoln.
Annie Lincoln Jacopucci.
Jacopucci.
Yeah.
Okay. She just
Italian.
How long ago was it that you got married? Maybe
It was a year and a half. Yeah. Like
Tell
almost
everybody
exactly.
what you do and why we love you so.
Oh man. Okay, for RootsTech, I am the RootsTech marketing coordinator. So I'm on the RootsTech events team, and specifically I help with all the marketing. So anything you see about RootsTech out in the world or here, anything RootsTech branded here, we help coordinate and plan. Yeah.
It's a tremendous job. I mean, you're juggling a lot of balls during the day as far as things come up, and I know you got to think in the moment, and I mean, but you obviously love it. And
I do, yeah.
I remember the first year you did it, and you did such a great job, and you could see the look on your face though, saying, "Wow, that was not exactly what I thought was going to happen." But you just rose to the occasion that first year, especially. I remember it so clearly.
Thank you. That was nerve-wracking.
It's a lot on your shoulders.
Well, we're on her shoulders.
Yes.
Because she manages all of the media.
Yes. Her website is called Herding Cats, but it's really what you're doing.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's funny. Yes, I forgot to mention part of the marketing the media fall into that. So these are my lovely media ladies. I run the whole media group, and that was probably the first thing when I started. I started in September 2023 or 2022 at FamilySearch, and that was the first task, they really said, "Okay, run with this."
Yeah.
And you guys could probably tell because you were like, "What is going on?"
So great.
But at the event, that was so fun to be able to finally meet you guys, and I think we all learned and got it together.
I mean, so it's a whole year of planning, you know,
Yeah.
like the day, I heard it's like the day after,
Yeah.
you get
Oh.
right back on.
Get a nap?
And how
Maybe a
much
couple
sleep
days.
do you even get, like the month before?
Oh, it's insane. Yeah, once after Christmas, you have like the excitement of Christmas and a little break with your family, but you know right after Christmas,
Yeah.
that's when things really get crazy, and we are working basically, you know, all hours of the day to make sure we're
Incredibly
coordinating.
healthy, right?
It is very small. We're growing, but yeah, right now we have our director of events, Jonathan.
Yes.
And then he has his managers. He has logistics
Yeah.
manager who does all the Expo Hall, exhibitors,
Wow, that's a
classes.
big job.
It's a big job. And then he has his creative team, his production team, which does the whole main stage
Yes.
and all the virtual keynotes and all the talent. And then he has his experience team, which helps with all the online and
Okay.
other classes and customer service,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
marketing.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to have you explain, like what the media program is, and you know, if you know the background of like maybe why it started, or
Yeah. So it started before me. This is my 3rd year at RootsTech and running the media program. And then once COVID hit, they had to, this was actually the last event in the Salt Palace in 2020.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit.
Yeah.
I
You
remember
guys
that.
probably were
I
there.
remember being on the plane. It was
You
like
were
a
all
week
there.
later,
That's
everything shut down.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
And then the following year, 2021 and 2022, they had to go virtual.
Yeah.
And it just like exploded our audience, as you guys know. So the media program, I'm sure, started before that, but it has grown.
And it's called different, you know,
It's gone different things,
all different
yeah.
things throughout the year.
Now it's the
Yeah.
official RootsTech media
Yeah.
because you guys are our voices, our amplification out there. And it's grown so much that we need you guys to help us spread the word. And I love it because I haven't particularly been in the field of family history or genealogy, so coming in and then having this group of media that you guys are so passionate about, you know, our cause, and you helped me learn about everything. And yeah, it's awesome to see the work you guys do throughout the year. If you guys don't know, we all communicate throughout the year. We're messaging, we have our Facebook groups, our emails, and really you guys just help amplify our voice so well to your audiences.
What are we at now? And
Oh,
numbers
yeah.
in
Do you know
person.
any
I know
numbers?
worldwide
Yeah.
there's a lot.
We don't know official numbers until after the conference,
What's
but
your guess?
we expect tens of thousands here
Here.
in person over the course from Wednesday to Saturday. We count because Wednesday, if you guys, you may have heard, we had a big youth event
Yes.
for 10, 11, 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
That was
Think
amazing.
about sneaking in.
You should have. You could have come with
Carded,
me.
definitely.
You could have.
I think they might catch on to
But yeah, we have, what is cool about RootsTech is we have obviously the general big RootsTech event, but we have so many different subcategories like my media group, and that's,
Yeah.
you know, I run that, and
Yeah.
we have other team members that run other groups and special guests
Yes.
that come in from all around the world. So tens of thousands in person at the Salt Palace and millions around the world
Yeah.
joining online,
Yeah.
which is crazy. And I would have to say, I'm interested to see what you guys think, but I feel like, you know, our production team and our creative team done such a good job at bringing that global aspect,
I agree.
even
Yeah.
in Virginia Salt Lake with our global MC
Yeah.
Yes.
on stage,
Yeah.
snippets of our virtual keynotes, which
Yeah.
they honestly are so amazing. You know, even if you don't know a keynote by name, we love the celebrities that we like
Yeah.
recognize.
Yeah.
But I think the people that I might not recognize their name right away,
Yeah.
they're so
Yes.
inspiring
Yeah.
and
Today
touching.
was
You learn so
wonderful.
much.
Yeah.
You learn so much.
You
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, yeah.
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 And we should probably realize that as we're walking around, there's probably every person in the aisles. They probably have amazing stories. And we need to
Everybody
hear
here.
it.
It
Everybody
is
here.
true. It's my favorite part.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you coming over and talking to us.
Thank you.
And
Thank
we
you so
are
much.
so grateful for all that you do, keeping us in line, letting us know when we're supposed to be, where we're supposed to be, and all that. We appreciate.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for all you do for RootsTech and for me. Being patient, helping me.
No,
So-
it's doing great.
Yeah,
It's doing
we
great.
should put in for us a little extra day of vacation for Annie. To have
Yeah.
to put up with the passionate,
Yeah.
passionate.
Yeah.
Go tell Jonathan.
We will.
All right, thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much.
We'll talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you.
We got to go. We have loved being here at RootsTech. We've got one more day to go. Who knows what might happen tomorrow? So there'll be lots more fun stories to learn about, classes to go to. Put this on your bucket list. You need to at least come to RootsTech one time live and in person. I know you can watch it, on your computer from home, but
There's different in person.
it's a different vibe in person, and you just don't know who you're going to run into, cousins and, just your next best friend you might find at RootsTech, right?
Case in point.
Case in point. So we appreciate you watching. We'll put links in so you can find things, and we'll see you next time on GenFriends. Bye, everybody.